Hi, I'm Rod and I designed Hydra Breeder. I'd like to think of Hydra Breeder as a throwback to the original arena games on the first StarCraft. Hydra Breeder is a game where the players have to destroy each other's command biodomes and be the last one standing. Each player has a Hydralisk as their main force, but can choose from 2 mercenary races to modify their playstyle. My goals when creating Hydra Breeder was to create an arena game and to learn about making a balanced game. My time constraint limited me to not creating custom models, extravagant effects, and missile movers, a StarCraft method of moving objects. I also had to make this game playable for only 3 people. Let's first talk about the basics. The command biodome is the player's base. If this is destroyed, it's game over. It provides useful upgrades for the player's Hydralisks or mercenaries.
Upgrade complete.
Minerals are used to buy upgrades and extra units. Mineral income is variable and depends not only on how many of the enemy forces the player kills, but what the player has killed. The player can also have income by controlling the center beacon, which will give the player a steady supply of minerals that is hard to defend. To help prevent game stagnation, each player also receives 200 minerals every 5 minutes. The player also has biodomes on each side. These give the player vision of the area, but are also vulnerable to being attacked. If the enemy player destroys them, they are rewarded with minerals. This is a Hydralisk, a squishy ranged unit. Each player automatically makes these every 6 seconds. Now let's talk about the mercenary races. The players have 2 races to choose from, Creepers and Armagons. The player can create them by building their proper unit structure.
Will do. Not enough minerals.
When a mercenary building is created, it grants the player a unit every so many seconds. If an enemy player destroys the building, then they are granted minerals. First, let's talk about Creepers. Creepers have taken green policy to a religious maxima. Most of the Creeper units focus on sacrificing themselves for the cause. If they don't sacrifice themselves, then they are meant to take damage and have the Hydralisk deal the damage. This is the Creeper tech tree. I wanted to reinforce my themes, so it doesn't just focus on building buildings to access more advanced buildings, but also requires unit deaths. One of my more interesting units is the tier 1 unit Vegans. Vegans are cheap, very fast, have increased armor, and do 0 damage. That's right, no damage. They are meant to be cannon fodder. This doesn't seem very good at first, but relies on the chaos of controlling so many units to be effective. Tier 1 and 2 Creeper units also have a 10% chance to spawn as a vegan instead of their own original unit. However, after 60 vegan deaths, the player can build a Temple of Ascension. This not only spawns very powerful tier 3 units called Ascended, but now, instead of units randomly being vegan, they are now randomly ascended. This is an Ascended. It has a splash attack and powerful shields. The Armagons are the exact opposite of Reapers. They are a race of planet harvesters and hunters. Keeping up with this distinction, Armagons use the Hydralisks as tanks, and themselves as the damage dealers. Units such as the Poachers have very long range, but are easily killed.
Sure about that? Go.
When Poachers get enough kills, the player can create Behemoth Hunters. Low health but highly armored, they are units that are good at taking out and controlling small groups of the enemy. Another interesting unit is a Destroyer, a mediocre melee unit until unleashed. Once unleashed, he gains attack bonuses that will slowly die and attack any units including allies. I've playtested this game a few times and found it to be successful. Both experienced and new players found the game fun. One of the changes I made from playtesting was shortening unit descriptions. Now each player can see what each unit is good at by quickly looking at the description. Thank you for listening. If you would like to know more, feel free to contact me by email, which is located in my resume.